Good morning. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you on what is nothing short of a picture perfect Friday afternoon. 58 minutes to post. Fast main track, firm turf course. The weather has cooperated. We got a 10-pack for you today.
We do, yeah. It's great. We don't have any rain today. We didn't have any rain last week. Now I'm going to be quiet about tomorrow and Sunday because they're prognosticating maybe a little bit of weather. But it's very exciting because we have a closing weekend at our sister track, Santa Anita, this weekend.
Right. Yeah,
so those multi-wager pools between the Coast to Coast and Sunset 6 must go on Sunday. But as far as we've got our dear Peggy, Ed Gray's favorite race.
Got a fun stakes tomorrow. Just a great time in racing in general. Breeders' Cup pre-entries are out. We got a bunch of live horses from Gulfstream.
Oh my God!
That are going to be out there. That's pretty cool. If you're thinking about coming out to the track, please do so. It's a great. The weather now is. I think we finally shifted.
Finally.
You know, we're low to mid 80s. It's a lot of fun. Looks like a great weekend. As Samantha said, a fun stakes tomorrow. Rainbow getting going again. $100,000 in your estimated jackpot. Rainbow Ronnie is in the dressing room. He'll be out here for the opener, and he's got that ticket. But let's show the early pick 5 as well. That'll be a healthy one on a fun card here. $24 for me in this early pick 5. We'll spread a little bit in race number 1. Race 2, the top pick is the 10. That is on the outside. Hot Cocoa for Mary Leitner and Edgard. And then back-to-back singles. Race 3 is my actual best bet, and that is, if I can get my page going here, Win In You're In on the return. Race 4, another single, Sunset Harbor. I wasn't trying to beat her, even though I kind of sort of wanted to, in a wild, tough turf race to kick off the TT pick 3.
Oh, yeah.
Top pick is Ninja Star. In a race you could literally go many different directions. General Ledger's probably going to get loose in there, but you have no idea what he's got in store. So Masterpiece, who ran in the Pegasus World Cup Turf, is
graded stakes place horse. Yeah,
how's he going to get up at a mile? So it's going to be an interesting race. Fun card here. Let's kick it off in the opener. 17-5 maiden claimers going at it here. 2-year-old fillies, a late switch, not a scratch, but a late switch. The 7, Atomic Flea, will be ridden by Jonathan Ocasio. Sonny Leone, I guess coming back at some point, but it will not be today. We like him around here. Kentucky Derby winning jockey. What do you got working here? The 8. I have no 8. Mucho Macho Lady for Angel Rodriguez on the outside.
Well, what is key about this gal here is she's going to get an extra furlong to work with. I'm not sure if this is going to be her preferred surface. I hope so. And maybe just those races earlier on, they're just kind of throwing something at the wall a little bit. But Mucho Macho Man on the dirt, obviously a little bit better than the grass, you would think, right? And just this is a gal that from she actually did breeze at the OBS March sale. She did not get sold at that sale, but I thought the more ground she gets, the more she's going to be. So we'll find out today.
Yeah, she's going to drop. What a contrasting pedigree, because like you said, Mucho Macho Man, Breeders' Cup Classic, they're all dirt, but then you got Point of Entry on the bottom. He was a turf superstar.
There's a couple of those today that I'm like, why did you breed to this?
There you go.
I don't know.
Right? Very odd to be sure. Mira's Wish. I'm going to give her another chance. Let's show you the replay because we're going to show you the start for Mira's Wish, and then we're going to show you Serenity Path at the end because she's the one that ran second in this race. But this is essentially one of the old "there off you lose" kind of trips. We haven't said that in a while.
No.
Here she is on the inside. We're going to show you the head-on too. That really you can kind of see what happened to her, and she's breaking from the rail. By the way, she was favored in this race at 5-2 for Mike Yates and Stonehenge. Okay, well, no bueno for her. Serenity Path. Now we go to the end. And Serenity Path runs very, very well, and that's why she's a pretty stiff, at least morning line favorite in this race. So good effort by her.
Oh, yeah.
I've got to give one more chance to Mira's Wish, and she's off the fence now too. I think that's going to help her. I hope. We have no idea if she can do any running whatsoever.
I think it's a good sign that she was bet first time out. For that, like you said, Stonehenge homebred, who Mike Gates has a lot of success with. So It's really, I don't want to say it's impossible to debut with 10 other horses on the fence, but it's not easy by
Not
any means. So
ideal
yeah.
at all. And it's just something to kind of remember. I have no idea what, no pun intended, what remember it's going to give you
No.
because she has not run at all in 2 starts, maiden special weight dropper.
Yeah, horses like her, they're very, very hard to trust regardless
Yeah.
what barn they're in, it seems
and
like.
it has never really taken any real money when you
No.
kind of view the connections, Arundel, and so I would say, well, if she's going to show anything, it would be today. Early pick 4 kicks off in race number 2. It's a $35,000 maiden claimer here. 2-year-old fillies go at it. Scratch Estrella, we just saw her the other day. That's the 5. Scratch the 8, Kathleen's Derby as well. And this is good entertainment. The package for Carlos David. Firster on the turf sprinting.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Well, and a homebred
Yep.
debuting for a tag. You know, I
You
love
like
that. World of Trouble is 16% with turf sprints. I'm kind of shocked at that, actually.
Very versatile horse.
Yeah, there were not any works of this horse. It's just, the name is so funny to me. The package.
Yeah. It's, we'll see.
It sounds like a horror movie.
A little bit. I would not be watching that movie.
No.
I don't know. Watch the tote here.
Yep.
It's going to direct you at least to see if this horse is maybe taking some money. If she's up there at 13-1, she's not going to win. You know, it just
No.
doesn't happen with this barn. I don't know. It's this is not really the jam of the barn. 10%
No.
first turf, but you'd think she comes out running. She's going to have to.
Right, yeah, she
From
will.
down there,
And
right?
there's some swift works, at least
Yeah.
on paper. I like the fact that they reach out for Sammy Marin, who is...
You like him,
Yeah,
yeah.
I do. He's somebody who, when he first started, I was first starting at Monmouth doing this job here, and he's just really excelled. And good trainers ride him as well. Like, he's won races for Shug. He rides some horses for Chad Brown at Tampa Bay.
Tampa.
So he's talented.
20% jockey
Yeah.
on the year, so that's significant. I landed on Hot Cocoa. She's your morning line favorite. We're going to show you a little Gussie in a second. I wouldn't shock me at all if she goes favorite, but it's Edgard. And when Mary Leitner reaches out for Edgard Zayas, to me, it's usually go time. I know this horse was at Colonial, but the 2 times on the turf, they were made in special weight races.
Yeah, and those are, you know how those fields are. They're
good
usually
fields there,
pretty
yeah.
competitive. So it's almost, I was thinking about this yesterday, actually. That it seems like the Colonial form lately has not been as fruitful as it typically is.
I think that's a pretty good way to look at it. You're right. And they are very similar turf courses, too.
Yeah.
Because they go fast there and they don't come back. Here's little Gussie now. Dave Fox has got it going again.
Oh, yeah.
That is for sure. Over 30%. This is the debut for little Gussie, who just ran out of room. Simple as that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think she's one that we'll see stretch out to 2 turns, but there's not the races for 2 turns, 2-year-olds for a tag on the grass are far and few between, I
Sure.
think. So that she got into I wouldn't call it trouble. I would say a little bit of a tight spot there.
Shuffled a little bit
Yeah.
there, and that was probably the key to her losing and not winning. The winner is on the front here, Zolene.
Well, Celine was really impressive
Yeah,
here.
so here
That
she
was
is.
shocking. Yeah,
Yep.
but she ran on really nicely.
She really did. It took her a little bit to get going after what Samantha kind of alluded to. Now we're not going to call it trouble, but after she got shuffled, and she is flying late as
Yeah.
Jolene puts the brakes on. And like I said, a couple jumps, she's your winner. That running style, though, what you just saw is a lot of the reasons why they don't win.
Exactly.
Because you can't do that on this turf course out there.
No.
Rails at 45 feet as well, so take note of that. Oh, you got Kate DeSmate underneath. DeBone, I think this horse is a little interesting today trying turf.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
But this Bobby DeBona just is so crafty with some of these runners that you never know, and maybe just cutting back and getting to a firm turf course.
You know, the one thing I do know, though, is that she's here because the other 2 races didn't work out.
Yeah.
Right?
This is very true.
So I think I think we can safely say that. Good one for race number 3. It's an optional claimer here. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. A clean field of 6, a race that you could go different directions in. You're on my best bet of the day, and that is win and you're in.
What a interesting gal she is, huh? If we would have gotten on the right side of her so many different times, we would have had some money in our pockets. But alas, it's like the races she wins, she's literally backing up in the far turn, and then she just
Yeah.
flies. But now she'll get Lasix for the first time. You would think that she's had some time to mature a little bit, at least since we've seen her. And hey, her Game Face Stakes race was a really
good effort behind Love You Morgan, who was good that day. Andrea came back to beat Love You Morgan decisively. That is a good race. And as Samantha said, the Lasix today. And that's a good segue, because let's show you our Morning Brew, who was, weirdly enough, just very similar to Win and You're In, and she did come back with Lasix. This was like the fate of the year for me, and boy, did she make me look foolish. And it was in the mud, but boy, this was night and day different than the gal we knew.
That's so true. But she is also 2 for 2 now in conditions like this. So did that help her a little bit? Did it maybe make it look a little bit better than it actually is? I think she's a nice filly, but she's one that we knew that she was going to be distance limited, so the Florida Sire Stakes this time last year just was not going to work. But yeah, it's a muddy track, but it doesn't look as muddy as we've seen.
No, it's not. No, it wasn't wildly muddy, and she keeps going. You got to give her credit. This is a horse that came in off really 4 straight no-shows, and Safi backed off of her, and she came back a different filly. We'll see if she can back it up today.
Yeah.
You got the Songbird filly and Rumors Have It, who I think she needs a wet track to run a big number.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, that was huge, and that was so weird. Or does she just react off those races? I don't know what it is, but last time out, she did not. Was it not having the Lasix? Was it just too tough a competition? I don't know what it was, but she was a low weight that day and didn't fire.
Miss Buchero's pretty good. I mean, she's a stakes winner, a 2-time stakes winner for Diane Maurici. I would bet a cocktail this race might be a little tougher than some of those races, though, Mid-Atlantic Stakes races.
Yeah, you're right. Well, and you know more about those races too. So, but hey, she's done them impressively. So if she wants to beat you, look at her margins, and she will stick her nose down at the right time. Rail, not ideal.
Difficult post for her. Lionel's going to have to work something out down there. A lot of speed in this race. Maybe she gets run off her feet a little bit, and that helps her. But boy, it's a fun race.
It is,
early on in the card. Go back to the main track in race number 4, 7 furlongs. Here for a $25,000 claimer. 3-year-old fillies are 4 and up, which have never won 2 races. The 5, Anna Jean's going to be ridden by Luis Fuenmayor. The weight, though, stays at $118, and same horse for us. I got to be honest with you. I said it earlier. I did not want to pick Sunset Harbor.
Yeah.
I didn't know where else to go.
No, you're right. And we saw her for a brief moment there in our Morning Brew race where she just kind of paid the price for her stablemate to just kind of sit right off of her. So you can excuse that effort. And we're getting into a really short claiming tag now. So why? I mean, she's got more class than these.
I agree. And that was off a little bit of a freshening, and it was off a dominant win, too, and it was in the mud. She's perfectly drawn today. I would think she's probably going to get it done in here. But you can have some fun underneath if you're going to concede the race to the favorite. And one of those horses is Magnetic Beach, who won a race in her only start here. Wildly slow race, but she does have a win, and that was a much faster race on Topito last time.
Yeah, it was, and it was a big effort that day. I like the fact that the Connections just leave her in for a tag. I do like the fact also that they leave her on the dirt. This is one that maybe I wonder about the 7 furlongs with her. She won at a mile. I wonder if maybe it's just a little sharp.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, and she's going to have to run the race of her life on the dirt at least to even hit the board in here. But maybe she's just better. Kent freshened her up last time. He took the waiver. He didn't want to lose her.
No.
And that helps. There's 2 recent dominant maiden claiming winners in here. Calling the Shots is the 3. Boombox Betty is the 4. They won by about combined 20 lengths. They're players. Ronnie found a stat on Ron Spatz, actually. Let's take a look at the 4 Boombox Betty and what we got working here. 3 for 18, 17%. Nice. So that's not bad, because you hear us talk about it a lot. Very difficult to come back and make a dent against winners. You could make a case for both of these horses.
Yeah, you could. It was such an impressive win by Boombox Betty.
Sure
where did that race come from?
Well, that's the problem, and you can almost say the same with Calling the Shots. And it was essentially their first race ever on dirt.
Right.
And and I kind of feel like when you win by big open margins, the numbers get inflated.
Yeah.
So
especially like the second place finisher Victoria Jag, that was the Bruno Schickendas homebred, right? That was maybe her second start, and she's not that great.
She's not at all. So I think they can get a piece. They have good running styles for this race too, because I don't expect them to be on the lead.
Yeah.
So there's 4 down, 6 to go. So let's take a break. We got a 10-pack here on Friday. When we come back, it'll be Rainbow's 6-time $100,000 in the estimated jackpot. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you. 10 races here on a Good Friday card. Fast and firm. We like that. Rainbow 6 and race number 5. $100,000 in the estimated jackpot. I got to see what Ron's doing here, because I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see what you're doing in the TT Pick 3. This is a doozy of a turf race, and Ronnie's in for $28.80.
Wow, I'm shocked he can whittle it down like this, because this race is not easy at all, like you mentioned. But he's got to anchor all the way at the end. And race number 10, the 8 Gabaldon, who Jose D'Angelo is going to bring back here. It's exciting to see. He'll get Lasix on for the first time here. This is an interesting sequence, and I'm glad he's spreading in race 7, because I thought that's a race that could maybe blow some things up for the Tapeta Sprint.
Yeah, especially
category.
With Nehru Tulip out of that
Yeah.
race. The morning line favorite scratched out, biggest scratch on the card. Race 5's got 1 scratch. That's a 7, Secret Bajent. Man, I love that name. Mile on the turf. 3-year-olds are 4 and up, which have never won 3 races or not a race since April 24th. The tag is 35. The rails are at 45. And you're going to try to get Masterpiece up. I got to think this trip is going to be a problem for him.
Yeah,
really
it really
sharp
could.
for him.
It is, yes, and he has not won since 2024. It was actually at Belmont and Aqueduct in a Grade 2 event. It's crazy to see him in here for $35,000, but he's 9 years old too.
I think I picked this horse in a Pegasus turf race back.
Yeah, you did. That's so true. Like 2-3 Pegasus ago.
Yeah.
Pegasus ago.
Bobby D takes over. Got a couple works in him.
Yeah.
Such a difficult horse to figure, because no idea where his form is.
I wonder if in a field like this, though, with 9 other runners, that maybe he'll be a little bit more compact, just sit a better trip.
Right.
He better, because if not, he'll need a whole nother way around to beat everybody.
I just couldn't pick him. I couldn't pick General Ledger. That's for sure. So I came back to Ninja Star, who I wanted to show a race for this. There's nothing to show on any of these horses, because none of them have done any running of late.
No.
And do not look at in tight at the 8th pole, 3 starts back, and think it mattered at all for Ninja Star, because I promise you it didn't.
Well, yeah, and he's one that his best running lately has been on the Tapeta too. So I do think the grass races he was in, I mean, when you're running fit to Beach Gold, Steel Sunshine, those are, 2 really tough horses, but I don't know.
To me, I just have so much respect for the job Jose D'Angelo does. He not only does he claim this horse, but he ups this horse to 35, right back on turf. The blinkers come off. I'll give him one more shot. Hey, General Ledger's as loose as he can be in here. I don't know what that means. I don't know what he's got left in the tank.
I have no idea either, but maybe if nobody presses him on the front end, just hold your breath and hope that he can hang on. That's going to be his best chance, I think.
He's a scary, scary horse, because as bad as his form is, his speed is still there.
Yeah.
And he should be freewheeling on the front end. Who's the other of the, we'll call him the favorites, is Samburu, I think, is a player. You have any of the odd numbers in there? You got the
I'm really against Samburu.
Full Nelson. Full Nelson, a Tampa horse, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But he's the other Jose D'Angelo. You see that a lot, of course. On my ticket, I don't even have the 6 anywhere. If I could go 6
Oh,
deep,
did we show
I
that?
would.
The
Oh,
two
yeah,
deep?
we
I'm
can show it. I don't remember what I did to start off. Did I single?
Jumped the gun
I
on you
might
there.
have. Oh, no, I
Okay.
used to. This is a really tough sequence for the Tropical Turf pick 3 for sure. As starting off with this race, because I could have gone 6 deep in that, and I may not have the winner. Race 8, good turf sprint. I've got the 6 Frida. That's my long shot. And in the finale, or not the finale, yes, it is the finale. My Voodoo Doll I have on top, the 7. We'll see.
All right. So there you have it. 15% takeout, $3 minimum. We'll get to the late pick 5 in race number 6. And, well, I'll tell you what, this early double to kick off the Rainbow, yikes, that's not easy, right? Good 2-year-old race here.
Very good.
6 furlongs on a fast main track for the gals here, right back with a late pick 5.
Yep, we'll check it out. I do have 2 singles. I'm going to single the 8 here. Race 7, throw a dart at it. It does land on the 3 if not for luck, but I'm using a couple of others there. Race 8, I do have the 6 on top. As I mentioned, Frida, that's my long shot. She's going to try the grass for the first time. Race 9, this is my best bet, El Guti, and he definitely looks a little bit better, especially with the scratches in that field. And in the finale, like I said, my Voodoo Doll, excited to see Gabaldon back. And I've got the 6 Sticky McStickins. It's your old pal.
Yeah.
For $18.
Yeah. Well, we're on the same horse here. Blinkers on, by the way, our horse amused
Yeah,
me, the
yep.
8. Blinkers on. Well, I hope we get 5-1 on this horse. Because, boy, she did not run at all at the Meadowlands.
No, not at all. But maybe that's just getting a race under her
Yep.
belt here. She was, I always thought these Maxfields were going to be a little bit late developing
Okay.
type. So they sat on her all summer. She's a half to world record.
As, you know, he's in the top 10 dirt sprinters in
Right.
the country, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's interesting, too, when you look at the mare's breeding and think that she produced such a prolific dirt sprinter. That's kind of, it's scary what this horse might have. Then you reach out for a Misel Jaramillo. That's a big thing as well.
Well, so we're doing the same thing here. We have no interest in either of the Safis. So we're going to put Fierce Fershinda in second. She better break better today.
Well, she's got to. That was a tough race at Saratoga. But she drew the rail, so you can give her a little bit of credit there, too. She showed some interest early on. My thoughts are, is she going to get in a duel with the 2, like the 2 and the 3? Are they going to go at it and set up great for the 8?
Yeah, that's kind of because La Dolce Vita is fast. There's no doubt about that. We'll see what happens with the betting. We talked about this. We'll show the little Georgie workout.
Little Georgie.
Just not for us.
Little Georgie's a little slow.
Yeah, they paid $630 for a charlatan. Big pedigree here, half the Neolithic, third in the Pegasus, half the Travel Column, who was I might have been favored in the Kentucky Oaks or Brad Cox, but she's essentially 3 deep here on terms of horses, right?
The one pushing peanuts with her nose there. I used to always really despise getting on horses like this. She's in her left lead. She carries her head down to the ground. Oh, those horses like this are so hard to keep picked up and kind of like keep in the bit. And these charlatans, I'm afraid that anybody's spending on them, they're not going to get that money back.
Breaking from the rail as well. Head guards here, great sign, but not for us today at least. We'll see what we get out of her. Race number 7 kicks off the late pick 4-5 on the Tapeta here. $10,000 claimers. These are 3-year-olds and up. We've got a scratch. The big morning line favorite is out. That's the 5 Nehru Tulip, excuse me. So I scratch into the 3. You had
I
her?
did have the 3. I thought any race that you have Risa Rolex, like you're coming out of, watch out. Yeah, the Risa Rolex. How many wins in a row?
I think he's 8 for 11. I think 6 in a row.
That's very impressive. So tough race, and now we're just in for the straight $10,000 claiming.
Yeah.
It's a good sign.
Yeah, he very easily could have been favored anyway. in this race, and I would think now with the 5 out, he's a big favorite. I'm glad you picked Retain in second. I want to show you the replay.
Yep.
Retained and the outside horse, Nick's Bro, who I think I actually picked in this race. They go at it here. Retain gets the jump. It was an okay third for Kent.
Yeah, it
Kent's
was.
winning. We like to see that.
Yep, absolutely. That's great to see. They do a good job now.
Easy, yep.
Kent here and everywhere. They spent the summer at Del Mar and then come here. But this was a good acquisition for him because this horse didn't have the best of trips, I'll be honest, from the rail and then right there, he wasn't going to go anywhere by any means, but still that's not great. It would have been a closer margin, I'm sure.
Now,
so
with that being said, and to be fair, this race for 10 is way tougher than that race for 10, and he's going to have to improve and run as good as he can to beat a horse like If Not for Luck, if ready to roll. I love Carlos Perez and these Barrio stable horses. My Sea Cottage is interesting to me. I know he's never run on Topeka here. He's kind of got it going again for Team Cassie. I think he's interesting. Obviously, Tap Gold, you have no idea where his form is at. He wins this race easily if he's the old Tap Gold. I don't think we're seeing that anymore.
Where is the old Tap Gold? The Rohan Crichton runners just tread very lightly because we like to say when they bet him, they win. Well, they've been betting him, and they're still not really winning.
Yeah.
He's Harb is at Keeneland today.
Saw that.
Yeah,
I did see that. Yep, in the last, I think. Yep, for a tag as well. Race 8 kicks off the late pick 3 here. Good, fun turf racing today. 5 furlongs here. Rails at 45 feet. State-bred optional claimer for the gals, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Turf with Frida, huh?
Yeah.
Long shot?
Yep. She is one that I wish this was 2 turns, but this is a good starting off point for her here. She will make her comeback after a slew of stakes races in her last 3 starts. I love the fact that we'll get Lasix back on. The last time she won, it was with it before her debut and before her going on to Degraded Stakes Company. I thought that she's going to eventually like the grass, so I like to keep these horses in my notes, and now here she is.
And all of a sudden, that's a pretty good move for Jose D'Angelo when
That's
it
true.
used to literally be 0 for 55, I think. Jose has righted that ship. Look what I'm doing. I'm doing the stablemate. She Loves to Travel, who's only run once on turf, and it didn't go that well. He's bringing both of these gals back today off pretty substantial layoffs.
Yep, but hey, how fit do you really have to be?
I agree with that.
Going 5 furlongs.
Yeah. I agree with that. What are you going to get from Love Actually? Because if the real Love Actually shows up, none of these horses can beat her.
What? Because she'll take the lead and just run off. Yeah.
But it's really happened once.
It has. To her credit, she had some excuses in her last two. Especially because they kept the last one specifically because they scratched her first whenever it was off the grass, and then they decided, well, let's run her. She's tearing down the stall, but she gets Edwin back, which he made a big difference.
I remember you said that in our pre-show one day about the size of Edwin.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that helps. And I know they've changed a couple things with her training as well. And the weather's getting cooler. She's one that she gets so
She's a nut
worked
ball,
up.
right?
Yep. Yeah. She just is, and she's like a ball of energy
Right.
too. So the fact that we're getting these cooler temperatures, I think it probably means she's probably feeling a bit better as well.
Yeah, they're going to bet her hard, and they're going to have to catch her, but she doesn't always deliver in the stretch. Late double in race 9. Don't forget, we've got 10 of them for you today. It's back on the main, 7 furlongs on a fast main track. 3-year-olds are 4 and up, which have never won 2. The tag's a quarter. Scratch out the 4 Adios Buster, along with the 6 Frosted Bull El Goody for you.
El Goody. Well, I'm not super enamored with this horse as my best bet, but I do like the fact that we have scratches now.
Right.
The distance is fine. He has won on a fast track before, so that's a good sign here. He's got a little bit of a good race, bad race going on, and now at this level, he looks like a good race. He could.
Yeah, it could be coming back around. I mean, I'm assuming they're gonna bet with both hands on
Yeah.
the 3, back them up. Off the claim for DeBona was just 8-5 in this race on October 4th. Bobby's 24%. Look at the combo with Miguel, 34%.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to beat him. That helps you because you get a little more value.
Maybe.
You want to think a little outside the box. Let's show you the 5 to the east side. This is the debut. Just draw a line through the turf route. We don't want to do that. This is a good effort, Samantha. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what it means today running against real horses for a quarter. This was the bottom. This was a powerhouse performance.
This was crazy to me
Yeah.
because to be able to loop horses like this coming from a first-time starter is very tough to do, and he made it look easy in doing so. Yeah, the turf race just completely ignore. Maybe they just wanted some distance here. I'm not quite sure. I don't want
Yeah.
to speculate too much, but the 7 furlong should hit him right between the eyeballs, and he did everything very, very well.
Yeah.
Do
Andrew Puckett.
you get this horse back to this again? I don't know.
I don't know. I think he's kind of interesting in here. I don't know.
He's like a rainbow blow-up horse.
Well, I agree with that totally. I'm kind of hoping he's a little bit of an exacta, not a blow-up, but a value horse
Yeah.
underneath in the exacta. That's what I'm trying to do, just to maybe get El Goody out of second. 5 on the turf to wrap things up at about 5:38 in the p.m. It's a state-bred optional claimer. These are the boys, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch out the rail, the one roar ready, and we've just got the exacta reverse. I got to be honest with you, I did not want to pick Gabaldon, but then I kind of looked around and said, with this post, with lay 6, I think he's got to win. But I'm glad you did my Voodoo Gal. Hey, the only time he's ever really done any running right here on the turf course.
Yeah, and the horse was, I remember I was in the paddock. We were all 3. The gang was all here. It was championship meet, and I was saying, oh, this is a good-looking horse, but he is nowhere near fit, and boom, just runs right off the screen. And I think this is a horse that just runs really well fresh. So
Yeah.
what he's fresh in coming into this race, I'll be honest, whenever I was doing this, I did this on Sunday, by the way, I did my analysis, and then I scrolled down and then saw Gabaldon. I was like, oh, no.
There he
I
is.
didn't see him at first, but hey, I think that my Voodoo Doll at least has a little bit more race experience than Gabaldon,
Yeah.
and maybe not really drawn better, but he's proven.
He's going to be 4 or 5 times the price. Pay attention to the Cassie barn now, Hall of Famer. I think we're starting to get an
Yeah.
influx of better horses. I think this barn is going to get very live in a hurry. Hey, we got to talk about the big favorite, right? The
Yeah.
former Royal Palm Juvenile winner went over to Ascot and ran a bank second in the Windsor Castle. I don't want to say things haven't gone right since, but you can see it right here. I'm not
Yeah.
telling something you don't know. It's been a struggle to get him to run races.
And he was injured here at one
Yeah.
point, too. I can't remember why he didn't end
Yep.
up running. So there's been a few setbacks with this guy since it's such a precocious 2-year-old start
Well
to
said.
his campaign. Could he be a bigger, stronger, badder version of himself with a couple months off now and getting Lasix back on? Yeah, it wouldn't surprise any of us, but do you want to take a short number?
Wow,
The
that's
Mahoney as well. Spice Up did not run that good at all last weekend at Belmont at Aqueduct.
Right.
And there was another horse that was coming from that ran in that race in the Mahoney and then
Yeah.
ran here last weekend and didn't run any good. The point of that is, for a grade 3, I wonder how strong that race was.
Yeah, this horse was 9-1 in that race too. That kind of rubs me the wrong way.
That's not a great thing.
No, they can't bet these guys enough, and Lasix, he's so big.
Yeah.
I want to. What's the stat? We got a stat on Jose as well. It might be an It's a Boss stat though, because we're going to show you a replay in a second. Let's bring up the stat, guys, for the D'Angelo here. And thank you upstairs for throwing this stuff together. It is Gabaldon. Thank you guys for doing that.
Perfect.
Putting these together. Appreciate that. First off, the layoff, turf sprints, past 5 years. It's fine. It's not. Jose's got 50 better stats. It's not terrible. I will say this, and I certainly didn't look at every 35 horses in this sample. I don't know how many of them were as good as Gabaldon.
That's very fair. Also, whenever Jose D'Angelo was debuting horses on the grass this was like his only winner in a year, and then finally, a month ago, the stat snapped.
Floodgates is open. He's got It's a Boss though too. Let's show that, because this horse has not been out since November 8th of last year. This is a win. This is like a really game effort, and he's going to come back with Lasix. Both It's a Boss, but Gabaldon as well. They're both going to run against older horses for the first time.
It's not easy to do. It really isn't. No matter how good they look, it's really not an easy task at all. Sometimes they just have the class and can get it done, but it's a big step up I think that's something that we'll be talking about a lot with Sovereignty taking on older horses.
Yeah, it's just the fact that at this point of the year, on October 24th, it's not a maturity thing. These horses, we talk about maybe even in July, it's not a big deal anymore, but they've never done it.
Yeah.
And so that when you're looking at these races, this was a 2-year-old race, by the way, okay? So It's a Boss has never even run against 3-year-olds,
Yes.
okay? So that race compared to today is just off the charts different.
Yep.
But I think he's interesting. I think just maybe 4 or 5 weeks from today is when you want to maybe remember his name.
Yeah.
Take a look at the lightning round, and the standings. Our 3-day race weeks are dwindling with the championship meet soon upon us on Thanksgiving. But Miguel Vasquez, boy, what a good start. Former leading jockey here in the past.
Yep, it's very exciting. These guys have been throwing it down these past couple months. It's fun to see.
Yeah, Edgar at Keeneland today, I think. We're riding for Safi in the
What race is that?
turf sticks.
Yeah.
With a horse, with a Ramsey homebred. Ramsey Pond.
Ramsey Pond.
How about that?
Yep, there you go.
We know her. Well, Coast to Coast is back today. Samantha made a good point that I had totally forgotten about. Our sister track closes this weekend, so we'll talk about that Sunday. Everything will go. Oh, excuse me. Don't want to cheat Jose D'Angelo. 3 first-time starters that won a couple weeks ago has kind of padded his lead a little bit. 17-11. Jose and Safi loaded for the Breeders' Cup.
Oh, my gosh.
Cool.
Well, I told you yesterday, Ben Tornado,
Yeah.
he's about to ship to Southern California, and poof.
Yep.
That horse is
Looks like a real tank,
yeah.
as you said. The Coast to Coast is back, as is the Sunset 6. I love this window. I saw it on Twitter, I think. Look at that. That's an hour and 26 minutes. I will not just take my word on that.
I will.
I will not test you on that.
Please don't.
Retail only. No CAWs. $1 minimum every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 15% takeout. Good segue to the Sunset 6. The last 3 races here. The last 3 races at Santa Anita. There you can see 435. Everything is the same. 15-1 and retail only. Good turf stakes tomorrow. We see our buddy Brian Lynch's name is back. You see that?
Yep, very exciting.
Well,
and watch out, because he comes guns blazing when he comes
Yes.
down here.
And here's Storm's Wake, who's 2 for 2 in her young career on the turf. And where is she? Where is she?
Yeah.
She's going to win this race, I promise you. I don't know if that's going to work tomorrow on this turf course.
Yeah.
I was worried there for a second, Bob, but Bob's always got
Bob's
it.
got it.
Always got it right. She wins this race, I promise you. Brian, one of the good guys, and as Samantha said, one of the sharpest guys. Look at this. Boy,
Oh,
these guys are
thanks,
good upstairs.
guys. There
Thanks,
we
guys.
go.
So she's your favorite over Pletcher and Rapoli, Miss Picky. We'll see how it shakes out. Ani's got a best bet in there that's not the 5 or the 10. How about that?
He does? What does he do?
Well, we don't want to spoil it, but Spirit Doll.
Oh, that's my long shot.
I think she might be lower than that. I think I tweaked that. We'll have to see.
Oh, gosh.
Best bet today.
That's funny.
Well, you got the Nicoletti Steam. I don't like that horse at all. I know she's got a turf pedigree.
Yeah.
but-
Well, watch out for the other Safi. Drawn horribly, but yeah, you never know. El Guti is my best bet. Yeah.
Okay. My best bet is what? That's right. Carlos David. Win and you're in. Long shot.
No,
We're
I don't
both like
remember.
fringe long shots.
Oh,
You got
yeah.
Frida, and I've got your top pick too with a scratch. I don't know if Amusement's going to be there or
Yeah.
not. Maybe they don't bet the 1. She's not going to be there. Pete is upstairs. We got 10 of them for you on Friday. Happy to have you aboard. Best of luck.